Hi, Kevin. Thanks for your question. Sorry to take so long to get back to you. You're asking about question 2D, and all the questions in question 2 are centered around the equation for the profit that they gave here. So let me just get that written in. Okay. And so trust your first instincts because you're right. You do substitute in the profit of 240 for P. So if you're going to put in 240 here, what I'll do is I'll set you up here and I won't do the whole question. I think what's probably giving you the problem is the negative coefficient for the x squared, the negative 6. So I'm going to show you how to deal with that. If we put everything together on one side of the equation, then let's bring everything to the left side of the equation. So negative 6x becomes positive 6x squared over here. Positive 180x becomes negative 180x. Negative 1056 becomes positive. And we already had 240 over there. And on the right-hand side now we have equals 0. Shouldn't be equals 0. Yes, should be equals 0. So if we clean this up a little bit, then 240 plus 1056 is going to give us 1296. And this is 180. And we're tasked with finding the value for x. Now we know with a quadratic equation that there are two possible values for x. Whenever the highest exponent in an equation is 2, then there are two possible answers that we could get for x. Doesn't always happen. It could be 1, it could be 0, but the maximum number of answers we can get is 2. What generally happens in a case like this is one of the answers makes sense and the other doesn't. So in other words, we might get one negative, one positive answer. And we can see that that's the case here because we have a negative sign here and a positive sign here. That's actually going to mean that we're going to have two negative factors. That's going to give us two positive x values. So it's possible in this case that we could have two x values that will both give us the maximum profit. I'm not sure, I haven't worked it out all the way to the end, but what you want to do next is common factor, because it looks to me like all of these values will divide by 6, and then factor using sum and profit, find your x value. You'll get two of them here and determine whether or not both values make sense. If they do, then give both values for your answer. Maybe it's a perfect square and you'll just get one x value because both brackets are the same. Whatever happens, you can make your choice based on that. And then at the end, don't forget that when you're doing a word problem, you should always end with a therefore the maximum profit will be when x equals blah blah blah. Okay, so that's what I'd like to see for your word problem answers. Please email me if you have any other questions because I'll be online most of the day today. Okay, thanks. Bye.